3/8/2016 واهلا وسهلا فيكم في حلقه جديده برنامجكم بالكويتي.
حياكم الله، واليوم عندنا حلقه مميزه جدا.
معنى مميزه لانك انت قابلتي اليوم طبعا زميلتي نجلاء اجرت لقاء مع المستشار الاقتصادي العالمي محمد يونس اللي راح نتعرف معاه على خبراته العالميه في مكافحه الفقر وكيف حصل على جائزه نوبل للسلام وماذا قدم للعالم، وعن لقاءاته مع حضرة صاحب السمو أمير البلاد حفظه الله ورعاه قائد طبعا العمل الإنساني صباح اليوم، وعن لقاءاته مع سعادة رئيس مجلس الأمة مرزوق عبد الغانم، وشلون نجلة قدرت تحاكيه بنغلاديشي.
بنغلاديشي راح يشوفون شلون كلمته بنغلاديشي بإذن الله. واليوم أيضا سليمان أجرى لقاء خاص مع سعادة السفير ياسر عاطف سفير جمهورية مصر العربية، وأيضا حديث عن العلاقات الكويتية المصرية.
يعني حلقتنا اليوم فيها ضيوف بس غالبيتها تصوير خارجي.
صحيح.
عيل خلونا نبلش حلقتنا مع نجلة وحوارها ولقائها مع المستشار العالمي محمد يونس. بنشوف هذا اللقاء.
ولد محمد يونس عام 1940 في مدينة شيتاجونج التي كانت تعتبر في ذلك الوقت مركزاً تجارياً لمنطقة البنغال الشرقي في شمال شرق الهند. كان والده يعمل صائغاً في المدينة، وهو ما جعله يعيش حياة عالية المستوى ووصل لأعلى المستويات التعليمية، غير أن الأثر الأكبر في حياة يونس كان لأمه صفية خاتون التي كانت تساعد الفقراء والمحتاجين بشكل دائم، والتي تعلم منها أن الإنسان لا بد أن تكون له رسالة في الحياة.
Cannot do anything to help people, large number of people, but certainly as a human being I have the capacity to stand by another human being and be useful to that person.
وفي عام 1965 حصل على منحة من مؤسسة فولبرايت لدراسة الدكتوراه في جامعة فاندربيلت بولاية تينيسي الأمريكية. وفي فترة تواجده بالبعثة نشبت حرب تحرير بنغلاديش باكستان الشرقية سابقا واستقلالها عن باكستان أو باكستان الغربية في ذلك الوقت، وقد أخذ يونس من البداية موقف المساند لبلاده بنغلاديش في الغربة، وكان ضمن الحركة الطلابية البنغالية المؤيدة للاستقلال التي كان لها دور بارز في تحقيق ذلك في النهاية. وبعد مشاركته في تلك الحركة عاد إلى بنغلاديش المستقلة حديثا في عام 1972 ليصبح رئيسا لقسم الاقتصاد في جامعة شيتاجونج.
قرر أن يعلم الناس الصيد بدل أن يعطيهم السمك. قرر أن يشعل شمعة ويبادر بدل أن يلعن الظلام. قصة نجاحه كانت طويلة ووعرة، لكنه وصل وحقق فكرته وحلمه الذي آمن به، فاستحق أكبر جائزة في العالم، نوبل للسلام. وقبل أن يحصل عليها في عام 2006 حصل على محبة البسطاء والفقراء والعالم أجمع. يسعدني ويشرفني الليلة أن يكون ضيفي البروفيسور محمد يونس الإنسان. Professor Muhammad Yunus, I would like to welcome you here in Kuwait, and especially in a very special day for women. So I'll have my special welcoming for you.
Thank you very much for receiving me here.
Let's start before any talks. We would like to know about your childhood. Did that impact you for the thing you became as a real human being?
I'm sure it has some, but I don't know exactly what it is.
Yeah. You know, since you came from a wealthy family.
No, I'm a very low-income family.
Really? Okay.
Grew up in a small room, and we are 7 brothers and 2 sisters.
But your father was a jeweler.
Jeweler in a kind of very small way, not
see.
in a kind of big jewelry shop or something like that.
So maybe that makes you more close to poor people.
We are part of that. It's not the poor, but just above that level. That's how we grew up. My father ran a business to maintain the family and so on, barely survived. But he sent all the children to school. He wanted to make sure that everybody gets a good education. And I was lucky in a way. I went to a good school, government school. And then I was doing Boy Scouts, and I got a chance to visit many countries as a Boy Scout.
Yeah.
So that's a big opening for me to do that.
Exactly.
I have traveled to Canada, USA, to join the Jamboree, Boy Scout Jamboree in Canada, and then traveled to other countries. I went through a ship from New York to Southampton as a whole group of young Boy Scouts.
Okay.
We were traveling. And then the whole group bought 3 microbuses from Germany, and we drove through Europe. It took us 6 months to go through it.
Well, that's a long trip.
That's a long trip, and we enjoyed it. We prolonged it because we are having fun doing that. We are all kids. This was 1955, so it's a post-war Europe. So we discovered many things. We learned a lot of things.
Yeah.
So those kind of things gave me a lot of exposure, helped build me what I am. But I don't know specifically which part made me do things the way I do.
Okay, then let's talk about the beginning of your thinking of poor people. What's exactly the situations that really push you to decide making all this for poor people?
I was in the States. I was on a Fulbright scholarship. I did my PhD from there.
Yeah.
And I was teaching in the university. So I was enjoying the life in the United States. Then in the meantime, Bangladesh got into a liberation war with Pakistan.
True.
And we have gone through it. And when the Bangladesh became independent country in the December of 1971, I resigned from my job. I said, I'm going back because this is the time I should be there in Bangladesh. So I came back from United States and started teaching in one of the universities, Chittagong University. Then we ended up by 1974, the famine, people dying of hunger because there's not enough food in the country, not enough food for the people.
Hard situations.
Very terrifying situations. And you face the question, what is this economics good for if people are dying of hunger? So whatever you teach is not good enough to solve the problem.
Yeah.
So I thought I should walk into the village next door to the campus and see, as a person, if there is something I can be doing, if I can be of some help to somebody, even for a day. I didn't know what to do, but I thought if I come nearer to the poor people. So your idea was just
only for a day?
Only for a day, or only for one person. So I'm not taking a big, ambitious program or something, just to see if I'm useful to somebody. So I did a lot of little things in the village every day, trying to find something to do. But in the process, I discovered the loan sharking in the village. Getting a small loan from a loan shark, and in the process, you give up everything. The loan sharks take away everything from you. It's such an ugly thing to see every day.
Exactly.
Then I thought, how do you stop this? There's no recommendation. There is no procedure by which you can stop loan sharking. Then I thought, I can solve the problem for few people. Why don't I lend the money myself? So I started lending money out of my own pocket. So, okay, you don't have to go to loan shark. You come to me.
And I'll help you.
And I'll help you. But, this is the loan I give you. You can return to me.
How many people came then?
In the beginning, it's a small number.
Yeah.
The first loan I gave was a total of $27 given to 42 people. So it's such a very, very tiny, less than $1 a piece. So that's the kind of money they needed.
Yeah.
But that's where the exploitation was taking place. And I thought it's such a simple thing to solve. Why people don't do it? And instead of getting the answer, I just started doing it myself. And it became very popular. Everybody wanted to come and borrow from me. So I was merrily giving away my money as a loan to the poor people.
Yeah.
And that was the beginning. And then it became so popular, I thought, why don't you create a bank out of it? So it began in 1976. By 1983, we created a bank. We named it Grameen Bank or Village
Grameen
Bank.
Bank.
Grameen Bank.
It's
Village Bank.
the name of the village?
No.
No?
The Grameen means village in
Village.
Bangla language.
I
It's a
see.
village bank, so we called it Village Bank or
Village
a
Bank.
rural bank. So,
But
it-
before that, did you ask for other banks to help poor people?
Yes, indeed. I knocked at every single bank. Why didn't you do it? They refused. They said, no, this is not our job. We can't lend money to poor people. They have no money. They have
Yeah.
no collateral. We need collateral. I said, no, you don't need to collateral. As long as they pay back, that should be enough. So who guarantees you to pay back? And so on.
Exactly.
So finally I said, I'll be the guarantor. I'll sign all your papers.
You did?
And I did. So I agreed with them. I'll sign every paper. And I become the guarantor for them. So that way I could take the money from the bank and started giving it to them. Then I thought, if it is working so well, people are paying back every single penny that they got.
Yeah.
So I said, if they can pay back, why don't I create a bank to do the job? Because these conventional banks are not interested in it. So then I started pursuing the government to give me the permission to set up the bank. In 1983, we got the permission, and we got a legislative action on that.
Yeah.
And then we became a bank called Grameen Bank and started expanding it. And we focused on women.
You focused on women.
Yes, indeed.
Why women?
In the beginning, I was criticizing the conventional banks for not lending money to the women. Not two reasons. One, not lending to poor people. And the second was not lending to women of any class,
In any
even
class.
if the rich one. They will
So
not.
strange.
I said, if you look at all the borrowers of your banks, all the banks, not even 1% of your borrowers happen to be women. Something is wrong with your system.
It's a
because
culture.
It's a culture, it's a legal thing, it's the way
Even legally, it is accepted.
Pardon me?
Is it legally accepted?
Yeah, nobody asked the question whether you're giving loan to women or giving loan to men. To give an example why it happens, if a woman is a rich woman, she comes with a business proposal to a bank, and the manager will say, have you discussed with your husband? And you say, yes, I have discussed with my husband. And the bank says, does he support it? Yes, of course he supports it. Why don't you bring him along so that we can discuss your proposal? Then I raised the question, has it ever happened in Bangladesh? A man came to the bank, gave his business proposal, and the manager saying, have you discussed it with your wife? Does she support it? Why don't you bring your wife along so that we can discuss it?
Never
it doesn't
will.
happen.
It will never happen.
It never happens. So that's the discrimination that slightly go into it. And as a result, women stay out, men gets in. And as a result, only 1% of the borrowers happen to be women. So when I began in 1976, I wanted to make sure half the borrowers in my program are women. So because I was making this criticism, I thought nobody should criticize me for not addressing the women. So I made the rule that half the borrowers should be women. And I go to the women, and I cannot go to the women as a man, so I take my girl students to go and talk to women because they will not talk to me. And the women said, no, don't give it to me, give it to my husband. Because I don't know anything about money.
So women refused it also in the beginning?
Absolutely. Women themselves refused to take the money. And the girls, my students came back every time and said, oh, why are you insisting? They don't want to take money. They don't know anything what to do.
They want to give up.
They want to give up. They said that this doesn't work because they don't want the money. I said, no, you have to go back again and again. When a woman says, I don't know what to do with money, I never used money in my life, always remember, this is not the voice of the woman, it's the voice of the history. History which created her. From the very birth, she was told she's nobody, she's a burden on the family. So she's always trying to live a life which is a kind of erasing themselves from everyday life. Her presence should not be felt. So she's always withdrawn from everything. So she's full of fears. She's grown up with fears and fears around her. So our job through you would be to peel off these fears layer by layer so that someday, maybe for months, maybe for years, one woman will say, I should take it. Maybe I should try because my life is so difficult. Maybe I should try something with your money. If she takes it and she's successful, and all other women say, my God, how did she do it?
Yeah.
And they will become
She will be a
curious,
role
they want
model,
to do it,
yeah.
and more women will come. And that will be the kind of a point that we'll wait for.
How is the situation now with women?
It took 6 years from our work in Grameen Bank to come to that 50-50 position. And then it opens up. We started questioning, why do we limit to 50-50?
Yeah.
Why don't you open it up? Make it more available to women? Because money that goes to women brings so much more benefit to the family than the same amount of money going to the family through men. So if the benefits it more for the family, if the woman is the borrower, so we should concentrate on women. So open up that limit for 50-50. We said we prioritize women. As a result, today we are 97% women. So we continue to do that. And we have 8.5 million borrowers in Grameen Bank, and mostly women, nearly 100% women. So this is how it became. And the idea became known as microfinance, what we do, or microcredit. When that idea is spread around the world, it became synonymous as a small loan given to the poor women without collateral. So everywhere you see is focused on women. We run Grameen program in the United States. We call it Grameen America. We have 18 branches now. We've been doing it for
18 branches all in America?
All over the United States. We have 8 branches in New York, and branches in Los Angeles, San Francisco, Boston, Houston, Indianapolis, Charlotte, North Carolina.
Don't you think that Asia needs those kind of banks
yes, indeed.
more?
Asia is doing it. It's all over there. It's all over India, all over Latin America, all over Middle East and Africa and so on. So it's a global phenomenon right now. So that, but the point I was making, it became synonymous with women, lending to the women.
Yeah, now,
so it works so much better for that.
Exactly.
So
now
it showed how women can take care of themselves.
Yeah.
It shows how creative the women are. It shows how entrepreneurial women are.
So women now are getting into business more and more?
More and more. Because
are they successful?
Very successful indeed, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure you made a very big difference in their life, but let's talk about the moment you received the news about the Nobel Peace Prize. How did you feel?
Yeah, that was an exciting moment. I was not expecting it on that date, that this announcement will be happening. I knew that that announcement is happening, it's a fixed date.
Yeah.
The rumor was on in Bangladesh and many countries for at least 15 or 16 years prior to that, prior to 2006 when I got it, that I will be receiving Nobel Peace Prize or Nobel Prize or economics or peace, whatever it is, that I'll be getting it. Every year people will say, are you going to get it? I say, I don't know. It's up to them to decide. It's not me deciding. So year after year, it's a frustration. People say, you didn't get it, it's your fault. I said, what can I do? I do my own work. I'm not working for getting the prize. I do it because I want to do it, whatever I do. So over 10, 12 years, since it's not happening, so you figure it out, it's not going to happen.
Yes.
So 2006 was one of those years that we were not expecting it. Suddenly I got a phone call from Oslo. Some newspaper, some media person, from journalists asking me.
Yeah, now everybody will look for you.
Yeah, they're looking for me. I said, what is it? So no, there's a speculation that this year you may get the Nobel Peace Prize. I said, I don't know anything about it. So
that was a lucky.
Then in a couple of hours, the whole big announcement came. That was quite a surprise.
Yeah.
And the whole country was thrilled. Everybody in the country was kind of jubilant, celebrating the Nobel Prize for Bangladesh. And then other countries like India, Pakistan, everybody celebrated because one of South Asian person got the Nobel Prize.
Well, how did you celebrate it?
It's just I had no chance to even breathe. People are coming, hundreds and thousands of people coming to greet me, congratulate me, and be in my house and be in my office, everywhere. So it's a celebration after celebration, yeah.
Well, I'm sure, Professor, you deserve that, and maybe you deserve more and more. Now we're going to have a little break, and then we're going to continue our conversation. مشاهدينا نطلع فاصل صغير وبعد إن شاء الله نكمل حوارنا. حوارنا مع الفائز بجائزة نوبل للسلام البروفيسور محمد يونس. Professor, you donated the value of the prize, which is $1,400,000 to the poor. So why did you do that? Why did you have just a percentage for yourself?
Well, I didn't think that it should belong to me. I don't want to control that. So I thought this would be good use for the money.
That's it?
That's
And
it.
so you gave it to the bank, or you just...
No, I created a trust to put the money and use it for the poor people.
Mm-hmm. And once you said, if I was able to make many people happy with a little money, why wouldn't I do it often? Why don't you think many people think the same way? What's your opinion?
Well, I think given people a chance to do that, they will do that. But the economy that we built today, it doesn't let you think that way. People always think that you have to be a successful person. Success means you have to be in business and make lots of money. The more money you make, more successful you are. So money and success became synonymous. That, I think, is the wrong direction. People is not about making money. Making money is something based on selfishness. Human being is not about selfishness.
Yeah.
Selfishness is part of us, but not the whole of us. We have selfless part, we have selfish part. But selfless part somehow is forgotten.
Yeah.
Everything is about making money. So world has become money-centric. Everybody is running for the money, and money has become a habit for us. Money has become a passion for us, even an addiction for us. The question I was raising, human beings are not basically money-making robots. Today you look at it as if human beings are robots. They're always running for money. So that's a misrepresentation of a human being in the economic theory. I say this is a fault of the theory, not of the person. Because theory has told you this is the route, this is the way you become successful. I think that's a wrong interpretation. Human beings should be seen as a whole, not as a part, as a selfish person. So if you see the selfishness and selflessness at the same time, then you would have two kinds of business. One is a selfish business, which is making money, and there's selfless business to solve the problem of the other people. And then it becomes a successful business, and you solve the problem. And that's what we started doing it. And we became very successful in creating business to solve people's problem. And we call them social business. We define it by saying it's a non-dividend company to solve human problems. And that idea is capturing people's mind, particularly young people's mind. They want to do things to see a new world emerging.
True.
They don't want to go through the same old stuff and go through the rushing of making money. You don't know what to do with the money. And if you keep on making money, wealth concentration takes place. All the money becomes in the hands of few people. Bulk of the people don't have anything.
Yes.
Today, 1% of the world population owns 99% of the world's wealth. So the 1% of the wealth goes to the 99% of the population. So this is a big mismatch because of the way we design our institution, the way we have interpreted human being. It's a wrong idea, wrong things. So I said, in schools, we'll be teaching the young people that there are two kinds of business. Business to make money, another business to solve problems. Let young people decide which one they want to go so that they have option. Today, there is no option. Everybody has to make money. Everybody has to chase money. That's not the way human beings should be working for. Human beings should be discovering its own worth, own values, and so on. Sometimes people ask me, why should anybody invest in social business if they are not making money? Where is the incentive? Because people want to go into business, profit is the incentive. You make lots of profit, so you rush to the profit making. I said, well, that's one interpretation. But I don't see profit is the only incentive in the world. There are other incentives in the world, which was not discussed in the economic theory. If you bring other incentives in the theory, then they will see it. I said, making money is a happiness. That's why you make money. That's an incentive. Making other people happy is super happiness.
Wow.
That's an incentive too. So you have to choose which happiness you are looking for. You want to have the happiness of making money, or the super happiness of solving the people's problem and the world's problem and create a new, completely new world. And I try to set it up by saying, I'm working for 3 zeros. That's my destination. That's what I want to be. Zero number 1, zero poverty in the world. Nobody should be poor in the whole world. I said poverty soon should be in the museum, not in human society.
History only.
It should be history. It should be gone, finished. It should be done with. Like dinosaur, it doesn't exist
I hope one
anymore.
day it will.
It has to happen.
Yes.
There's no reason it should not happen.
Yeah.
And the second zero, zero unemployment. Nobody in the world should be unemployed. There's nothing wrong in human being. Nobody should be sitting around, not doing anything. That's called unemployment.
Yes.
Why any human being should sit around, not do anything? Because the theory has told him not to do anything because you're unemployed. I said, theory has paralyzed this person. His mind doesn't work anymore.
Yes.
I said, forget about it. We are human beings. We are go-getters. We are problem solver. We don't wait for anybody. We do things ourselves. If you move in that direction, there'll be no unemployment at all. The very word unemployment will become unemployed because you don't need that word anymore. The third zero is zero net carbon emission. So we have to protect this planet by avoiding that carbon emission. And we have to decarbonize the whole economy. And we have to discover the technology where we will not have carbonized the economy at all. We can do with renewable energy. We can decarbonize everything that creates CO2 emissions and so on, so that we can protect the planet. And this is our home. The planet is our home. We want to have a safe home. We don't want to transmit. We don't want to transfer a planet which becomes more dangerous every year, every day, to my next generation. We want to hand over a safe planet than it was yesterday to my next generation. That should be the aim. So we want to achieve these 3 zeros.
I wish if we can achieve them, Professor.
Of course we can do that, all of us
Thank you for
together.
the amazing theory, and lesson. It's beautiful, and I hope one day your dream will come true, because be sure it's everybody's dream.
Absolutely. Let's all join together and make it happen.
Inshallah.
And create a new civilization for all of us.
Well, Professor, tell us about your visit to Kuwait now. You're here for 3 days. And how was your meeting with His Highness Sheikh
It was wonderful. He's a wonderful person. I talked about what I do, what I've been doing, and he took a lot of interest in it and wanted to know how these ideas could be brought to Kuwait and see how the young people respond to that. I was suggesting that maybe it should be the university who should be doing that, teaching courses on social businesses, teaching courses in microfinance, talk about the 3 zeros and so on, so that the young people see that they have the power. Each young person has unlimited power.
True.
They don't know what to do with it. They're only asked to get a job. And job doesn't use my creativity. They have so much more creativity than just doing the job. But somehow we are packing all those creativity into just serving a little job.
And also today, while we're here now in the National Assembly, the House of People, just like you said, how was your meeting with His Excellency, the Speaker of the National Assembly of Kuwait?
Very warm, very enthusiastic. He was very curious in every single thing, and he presented with the picture with him, and also some gift of with the model of the Parliament building and so on. So we were very happy. And he was interested to understand my work and how it is being done. And we had a very good conversation.
Before we conclude, Professor, you have an inspired experience. So what do you think, your advice for our viewers? I mean, I know you talked a lot about the way you think the world has to be and your 3 zeros, but I want also, a special message for our viewers here in Kuwait.
We are human beings.
Yes.
We have lots of creative capacity. Let's use that creative capacity so that we can create a world that we like to be in. Not a world with all the poverty, all the unemployment, all the fighting going on, or the displacement going on, people leaving their homes. That's not the world that we want. We want a peaceful world where every child will have a future to create a world much better than what he or she has inherited. And that's what our destiny is. We have to create a civilization where our human values will predominate, not our selfish values only, and make other people suffer because be only concentrated on selfish values. A world where all the wealth will not be concentrated in few hands. Wealth will be shared by everybody.
Yes.
And enjoy this planet as a gift of God and be happy in this planet.
مشاهدينا نطلع فاصل وبعد إن شاء الله نكمل اللي توقع من حلقة بالكويتي.